You submitted a resume and you waited patiently, and finally you got that phone call, and now you got the interview. You're sitting across the table, and the hiring manager smiles and asks you the question, tell me about yourself. Oh my God, I get this roadblock from my students every so often. Almost every other student falls at the very first roadblock of their interview. Although it is such a simple question, it has unfortunately become such a difficult answer to master. And to break it down, I'm presenting this video to you. You panic and you don't know what to do and you don't know what to say. You start to stutter, and halfway through the conversation, you say to yourself, I blew it. Why did I even say that? You never get a second chance to make that first impression. Usually, that hiring manager makes up his or her mind in the first 3 minutes during the interview. Do you make a good impression? So today I'm going to share with you from a CEO perspective, from a hiring manager perspective, from an employer's perspective, what is the best response to the question, tell me about yourself? You see, we have interviewed thousands and thousands of potential applicants, and I cannot tell you how many times I see people kind of struggle with this question. And however, there are incidents, we are rather impressed by the responses as well. This is not theory. I've taken some of the best replies, some of the best responses to this question, and I'm going to teach it to you. And by the end of this video, you're going to walk away with the exact formula or the exact formula that you need to apply so that you know exactly what to say and how to say. And by the end of this video, you're going to walk away with a small template, or you can say a small script. So next time, when you are asked this question, you know exactly what to say. And now, let me give you a couple of keys first. Key number 1. And I cannot get enough of this. I cannot emphasize this enough. Please understand, when the hiring manager is asking you the question, tell me about yourself, they are not actually asking you about your home life, your whole life story. They're not asking you about your parents or your background and your dog's name and what kind of cat you have. It is not about that. So when people hear that question, they think, oh, let me tell you about my whole life story. 20 minutes into it, you have not talked about anything important. So what they are actually asking is, what are you bringing to the table? So from now on, when you hear the question, tell me about yourself, I want you to make that mental switch. That equals, what value could you bring to the company? What problems can you solve for the company? That's what they're asking. And you shouldn't go on and on and on about your background and all of that. No, don't do that. Key number 2, be yourself, but be your best self. One of the mistakes people make is they believe that in an interview, they should be themselves. And I've heard so many students come to me and say, oh, I'm just going to this interview and ma'am, I'm going to be myself. Yes, you want to be yourself, but you want to be your best self. You want to be authentic. You don't want to be fake, but that does not mean that you share everything. Just the first time, you're sitting across the table from the hiring manager. It is like a date. You're getting to know each other. It's like a coffee date. So make sure that you present your best self. Lean with your strong foot forward. So when they're asking you the question, everything that you share, any statement you make, you always want to tie it back to what is in it for them. WIIFT. What's in it for them? You have to follow that principle. So let me give you an example. Let's say someone is hiring and you're applying for a social media management position, okay? And the hiring manager is asking you, so tell me about yourself. A typical response. Someone might say, well, I grew up on social media and I've used social media for a long, long time, my whole life actually. So I'm very familiar with it. And just about 3 years ago, I thought to myself, hey, maybe I could make a living doing it. So I started playing around with it and, got a couple of clients here and there. And I've worked with a couple of people. And then now I'm planning to get married. My fiance told me that I should get a stable job. Here I am. I'm looking for a company that can offer me a stable job, offers me some growth potential, some growth opportunities, a stable salary. And also this place is not too far from my home. It's just a 10-minute drive. You see the problem here? It's all about me, 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 me. It's all about their own person, their own personal needs and what they need, and their own personal life and their own stuff. The candidate who's answering this question right now is only thinking about himself, not about the employer, not about the hiring manager and his or her company. Now, how do you feel if you are the hiring manager? When you ask that question, comment below if that's the answer you get. So instead of rambling on about your background and all that stuff, what I want, no, if you would turn it into what's in it for them, what's in it for the hiring manager, what's in it for the company, what could you say? I'm going to give you a simple formula. It's the 3S formula. First, success. Now, here's a script that you could use. I have been blank, or my background is blank. So let me demonstrate. Let's say it's the same position. Social media manager. First, success. I've been doing social media for the last 3 years, and I specialize in helping companies and entrepreneurs grow their Facebook fan page. And in the last 3 years alone, I've helped dozens of clients in over 10 different industries. And on an average, I've been able to help my clients really increase the engagement on their fan page by 3 to 500% in less than 6 months. And that's what I am passionate about. In fact, I have listed some of those clients that I've worked with in the reference letter. You see how that works? They're talking about their success, but without bragging. It's more to demonstrate and showcase your skill set. What are you good at? That's the step number one, success. And then step number two is strength. And here's the script. My strength is, or my real strength is, fill in the blank. So I want you to take a minute and note this script down. My real strength is, fill in the blank. So my strength is to truly understand what your audience wants. I apply myself on the repetition to create engagement and compelling content that your audience loves and wants to share. That's the second step. Nailed right there. My strength is blank. Third, situation, meaning how does that apply to the position that you're applying for? How do you apply your background, your strength into this new company, the new opportunity, situation? What I am looking for is blank. What I'm looking for is fill in the blank. What I'm looking for is a company that I could add value to, that I could produce a positive return on investment for, where I could join a strong team. Is it what ABC company is looking for? You see, at the end, you ask a question. Whoever asks the question controls the conversation. So you want to ask a question, and now the hiring manager will be like, okay, yeah, I guess that's what I'm looking for. No, that's not what we are looking for. And you go from there. Just because you are in an interview, it does not mean that you do not get to ask a question. You also get to ask a question. Now, does it mean that I have to memorize a script of some sort? The answer is absolutely, absolutely yes. You don't want to go in unprepared, but in fact, you want to write it out. You want to practice it. You want to practice it many, many times. You want to embody it. You want to have it, like I say to my students all the time. You want to have it up your sleeve so that when you enter that interview room and you face the hiring manager, you're ready to go. You need to memorize it and say it many, many times, repeat it many, many times, so it comes across very, very natural. The last thing you want is not to panic and stutter. You don't want any of that. You don't want to panic and you don't want to fumble. You don't want to mumble and you don't want to stutter. Never do that. If you found this video useful, comment below. If you want to equip yourself with practical business knowledge, if you want to learn how to communicate with conviction and confidence so you can finally get the respect that you deserve, make sure that you hit the subscribe button below and subscribe to my channel. Every single day, I upload one new video to teach you exactly how to do that.